welcome to Temple Timeless Tales, where ancient wisdom, African folklore, and timeless truths are reborn through story. If you're new here, you're exactly where you're meant to be.
When last we gathered, the wind spoke through the trees, carrying the whispers of an ancient forest. A child who had no name, adrift in the vastness of destiny, became Nkemjika, the one whose strength is greater than any obstacle. And the woman once silent, Iyale, a vessel of sorrow, found her voice, not in words, but in the vibrant, undeniable heartbeat of her daughter. But even the mightiest rivers do not stop flowing, their currents carrying forgotten tales to new shores. And neither do the persistent whispers of the old spirit ever truly fade. This tale, it is not done. It yearns to be told. Another story rises from the very earth itself, born from the ash of the forgotten fires, the dust of untold centuries, and the deep, resonant hollow of a mortar, where voices, long silent, once slept in waiting. Episode 2: Whispers of the Ancestors, the voice in the mortar. The mortar of silence. In the heart of Umuola, a village nestled in the crook of ancient hills, there exists an object so potent, so steeped in forgotten sorrow, that no one dares to speak its name aloud. It is a mortar, not just any mortar, but one buried deep in the rich red earth, beneath the solemn gaze of the shrine of forgotten gods. Once, in a time when laughter echoed freely, and hope was as abundant as the morning dew, this mortar was used by mothers. Their strong hands rhythmically pounded yam, ground potent herbs, and even, it was said, crushed their hopes and dreams into a fine sacred dust. But now it rests untouched, a silent sentinel, its surface covered in the prescient embrace of time and tangled vines. They say, with hushed breath and averted eyes, that it once belonged to a woman whose ears were attuned to the unseen, a woman who could hear the very whispers of the dead as she pounded her daily yam. And then one day, the chilling tale goes, the mortar spoke back. Arrival of a stranger. The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in fiery hues of orange and purple. When he arrived, he came at dusk, when the light itself seems to hold its breath. A man, unlike any seen in Umuola for generations. He leaned heavily on a crooked staff, its wood polished smooth by countless journeys. His laugh, when it came, was a low resonant sound, like thunder trapped in a bottle, both comforting and unsettling. And his eyes, they were ancient, profound pools that seemed to have witnessed too many lifetimes, holding the echoes of every joy and sorrow known to man. They call him Obiajulu, the art that has found peace. But the villagers, with their deep-seated traditions and cautious nature, knew not where it truly came from, nor the silent, profound burden it carried within its very soul. Iyale restlessness. From the moment Obiajulu's feet touched the sacred dust of Umuola, an unspoken tension descended upon the village. Iyale, a woman whose spirit was now attuned to the subtle shifts of the world around her, found sleep a distant, unreachable shore. The very air in her compound seemed to have shifted, growing heavy, pregnant with unspoken truth. The joyful chorus of birds, usually a reliable companion at her window, had fallen silent. Their songs replaced by an unnatural stillness. Even Nkemjika's bright, innocent laughter, usually so effervescent, seemed to dull, as though the spirit of the land themselves held their breath, waiting for something momentous. At night, when the village finally surrendered to the embrace of darkness, Iyale found herself trapped in vivid, disturbing dreams. She dreamt of pounding yam, the rhythmic talk of the pestle against the mortar, a familiar comfort. But then, rising from the hollow of the stone, she heard names she did not know, ancient and resonant, rising like ethereal chants, echoing in the hollow chambers of her mind. Nkemjika's warning. Children, with their untainted spirits and open hearts, often perceive what adults, burdened by experience and skepticism, tend to forget. They see the unseen, hear the unspoken. One cool evening, as the last rays of the sun painted the sky in hues of deep indigo, Nkemjika knelt before her mother, her small earnest face upturned. Her voice was a mere whisper, barely audible, yet potent with a truth that transcended our years. He carries voices in his staff, Mama. Many voices. They follow him wherever he goes, like silent shadows. Iyale's skin immediately prickled. A wave of cold dread washing over her. Her gaze, sharp and perceptive, instantly darted towards the stranger. As she looked at Obiajulu, an ancient primal feeling swept through her. A sense of deep foreboding, as though the very earth beneath her feet began to tremble, responding to the invincible currents he carried. Obiajulu met the elders. Obiajulu, the enigmatic stranger, began to integrate into the daily rhythmic of Umuola. He breathed cautiously. He spoke to the elders in riddles, his words laced with ancient proverbs and layered meanings, hinting at a wisdom far beyond their understanding. Before he partook of any palm wine, he will always pour a small offering into the rich red soil, a gesture of respect to the unseen spirits of the land. And always, his back remained ruthlessly turned to the old, crumbling shrine, as if deliberately avoiding a silent gaze, or perhaps acknowledging a power even greater. "I am only a bridge," he will always say, his voice a low rumble. Between those who have left this realm and those yet to come, with each cryptic utterance, with each ritualistic gesture, the buried mortar beneath the shrine pours again. A slow, almost imperceptible throb, like a heartbeat from deep within the earth, answering his unspoken call. The voice emerges. That night, a chilling sound shattered the fragile peace of Umuola. It began as a faint talk, then grew into a rhythmic, insistent pounding, echoing from the direction of the shrine. Thump, thump, thump. But the sound was unnatural, for no one was there. The villagers, roused from their sleep by the eerie silence, gathered cautiously, their faces etched with a mixture of fear and bewilderment. Their torchlight flickered, casting grotesque, dancing shadows that seemed to magnify their growing terror. And then, from the hula of the buried mortar itself, came a voice, low and deep, ancient and resonant, that seemed to vibrate through the very ground beneath their feet. Return what was taken, or it will be taken again. Return what was taken, or it will be taken again. The words hung in the night air, cold and unforgiving. Fear, sharp and primal, clawed at their throats, choking their breath, leaving them speechless, rooted to the spot. The legend of Adaeze. Faced with the undeniable manifestation of the unseen, the elders, their voices trembling with long-held guilt, finally confessed. They recounted a tale passed down through generations, a dark secret buried deeper than the mortar itself. Long, long ago, in a time of great suffering and despair, a young girl named Adaeze was born. She was a child of uncommon sensitivity, blessed, or perhaps cursed, with the extraordinary power to hear the ancestors, their whispers, their laments, their wisdom. But her gift was misunderstood, seen as a threat. When a terrible plague descended upon Umuola, wiping out families and decimating the community, fear gripped the hearts of the people. In their desperation, guided by a misguided belief that only a supreme sacrifice could appease the angry spirit, Adaeze was buried alive beneath the very mortar now before them. A horrifying, desperate sacrifice meant to stop the unstoppable plague. A spirit wrong and unavenged had not found peace. It was Adaeze's voice that echoed still, a lament centuries in the making, demanding justice. Obiajulu secrets. As the chilling truth of Adaeze's fate filled the night air, Obiajulu fell to his knees before the ancient Mortar. He stood there shaking, grief, guttural sob tearing from his chest. "She was my blood," he choked out, his voice raw with grief. "My sister. I was but a boy, barely old enough to understand such cruelty, when they silenced art forever. I have wandered the earth ever since, a ghost of my former self, carrying this unbearable grief, waiting to hear our voice again, to finally bring her peace." A profound silence descended upon the gathered villagers, a shared moment of understanding and empathy. Then, with a quiet determination that surprised them all, Iyale stepped forward, her eyes fixed on Obiajulu and the Mortar. As she did, the very air around them seemed to split like dry bark, cracking with an unseen energy, a testament to the powerful confluence of grief, spirit, and newfound understanding. Nkemjika speaks for the dead. In the aftermath of Obiajulu's conversion and the elders' revelation, a strange stillness settled over the shrine. But then, a new presence emerged. Nkemjika, barely a child, walked calmly with an almost natural grace towards the pulsing mortar. There was no fear in her eyes, only a quiet, lucid understanding. She wants to live again, Nkemjika stated, her voice clear and resonant, carried an authority that silenced the murmuring villagers. A collective shiver ran through the crowd. They trembled, unsure if they were witnessing a miracle or a madness. Nkemjika then dipped her small, delicate hand into the oil of the mortar, her finger touching the ancient dry earth. As she did, a new name, vibrant and full of promise, rose from the depths, not spoken by the mortar, but by the air itself, carried on an unseen current. Umuola, life after death. It was a name not of sorrow, but of hope, a renaming of the spirit, a promise of rebirth. The Reawakening. 3 long expectant nights passed in Umuola. each one holding its breath, waiting for the prophecy to unfold. The air thrummed with a nervous energy, a blend of anticipation and apprehension. And then, on the dawn of the fourth day, the rain came. Gentle at first, a soft caress on the parched earth. Then growing steadily, inexorably heavier. A cleansing deluge that washed away the dust from the roofs, the grain from the trees, and most profoundly, the lingering shame and guilt from the hearts of the villagers. As the rain poured, the ancient mortar began to crack open, not with a violent rupture, but with a slow, deliberate splintering, like a cocoon revealing a butterfly. From its sacred hollow, bathed in the soft, ethereal light of dawn and the cleansing rain, rose a girl of pure light. She was translucent, ethereal, yet undeniably present. Her form shimmered, a living embodiment of the new name, Iyale. She looked at Obiajulu, her eyes filled with an ancient recognition and boundless love. A gentle understanding smile gracing her lips. And then, as softly as she had appeared, she vanished into the morning mist. Her spirit now free, a purpose fulfilled. The naming of the shrine. In the days that followed, a profound transformation swept through Umuola. The whole shrine, once a place of somber rituals and fear, was no longer filled with dread. Instead, they renamed the shrine, not as a monument to fear or a place of sacrifice, but as a vibrant testament to forgiveness, to reconciliation, and to the enduring power of memory. From that day forward, no sacrifice was ever made in blood. No life was ever taken in desperate appeasement. Only in memory was tribute paid. Only in songs were the ancestors honored. Children, with their innocent voices and unburdened spirit, gathered often at the revitalized shrine to sing Adaeze's name, ensuring that our spirit, now named Umuola, will forever be remembered, not for a tragic end, but for a reawakening. And the mortar, now empty of its ancient sorrow, and its spectral voice never spoke again. Its purpose fulfilled, its sacred duty completed. Spirit walked with us. The people of Umuola learned a profound truth that day. The living are never truly alone. The veil between worlds is thin, easily traversed by the whisper of those who have passed. The ancient mortar, once a vessel of sorrow and a monument to a terrible mistake, taught them this enduring lesson. Even silence has a voice. If only one knows how to listen, even shadows remember. If one allows them to surface and be acknowledged. The spirit of the ancestors, far from being distant or forgotten, walked with us, unseen yet ever present, guiding our steps, whispering wisdom into the winds, pushing us towards connection and understanding. Nkemjika's eyes, and in the heart of Umuola, in the quiet moments of reflection, Iyale now sees the old world, the world of ancient wisdom and unseen connections, reflected vividly in her daughter's profound eyes. Nkemjika, the child whose strength is greater, often gazes at the boundless expanse of the night sky, watching the stars as if they speak directly to her, sharing cosmic secrets. She listened intently to the rustling of the wind, her small head cocked, hearing stories that others cannot fathom. Narratives carried on as the unseen current of the air. The girl who had no name, adrift and vulnerable, now carries many names within her soul. A vessel for the past, a bridge to the future, a living embodiment of the ancestral whispers. So this tale ends. The voice in the mortar, not in silence, but in a vibrant, profound awakening. We've heard the chilling, yet ultimately redemptive voice in the mortar. We've witnessed the forgotten being remembered, the silence finding their song, and in the act of remembrance, in that courageous embrace of truth, he blossoms, not just for individuals, but for an entire community. The journey continues, the tapestry of life and spirit ever unfolding. Join us again as the ancestors, eternal and wise, speak anew through the timeless tales of temple timeless tales. Timeless tales, endless wisdom, boundless imagination. Please like this video, comment, subscribe to our channel, and share this story to the heart who still listens to the whispers of the ancestors. If you are new to our channel, please don't leave without subscribing. We love you. Stay tuned for episode 3. Thank you for watching Temple Timeless Tales. Timeless Tales, endless wisdom, boundless imagination.